You know? Even I'm impressed that I got that thumbnail without anything falling on the ground. Hello, my lovely friends, it's Margaret, and I am coming at you with my TBR for the Magical Readathon Christmas at Hogwarts edition. This readathon is happening from the 17th to the 26th of December, and it is being hosted by G from Book Roasts. I'm gonna put the tea down. I'm gonna put the tea over here. For this readathon, our lovely host has come up with like this choose your own adventure kind of list of prompts that you can do, where you start with one prompt and you follow them out. So I have figured out my path from the end of term to the Christmas feast, and I am just going to share that with you guys. A lot of these you might recognize from my December TBR, because I figured, why not double time it? Why add new books when I already have so many old books that need to be read? So the first prompt is to finish your coursework, and that basically is just to finish whatever your current read is. The readathon starts tomorrow, so I am anticipating that I will still be reading 3 different books. The first one is going to be Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Is the second book in the Illumina files, and basically Illumina opens with this illegal mining colony being bombed by a rival company because they want that colony, and they figure since it's an illegal colony, the people who are in charge of it aren't going to complain and they can just kind of come in and take over. But unfortunately for that company, some of the people survive and they kind of take off on these 2 other spaceships and are rocketing across space trying to get away from Baytech, who is the company pursuing them. This takes place on a different spaceship, but it is part of that kind of mess that is started in the first one. And so it's kind of like the fallout from there. I'm really excited. I'm buddy reading this with Mia from Select Pages, so I don't know if I will actually get to finish this one during the readathon. I also have a backup, and that is A Time to Die by Nadine Brandes. This is about, her name is Parvin, and basically in her world, when you are born, you are given a clock. They use some sort of receptors inside the womb to figure out how long your life is going to be. And so you know the exact day, hour, and time that you are going to die. And if you do not have a clock, you are kicked out of kind of the safe space, because this is a dystopian, and you have the United States of the East and then the West. And so everything to the west of the wall is unknown territory for everyone, and that's where they send the radicals, which are people who can't find their clocks are unaccounted for. The thing about Parvin is she was one of triplets. They weren't expecting 3 babies, they were expecting 2. One of them died, and so she and her brother have been bouncing this clock between the 2 of them, and then Parvin is found without her clock. From there, I'm going to go have a snowball fight with the Weasley twins. So apparently this is in the 90s because they're both still alive. That made me sad. The way that you fulfill that prompt is to read a book that you think will be humorous. I am going to be reading Nothing Happened by Molly Booth. This is a retelling of Much Ado About Nothing by Shakespeare, which is my all-time favorite Shakespeare play. I'm definitely one of those Shakespeare comedies kind of girl, because I don't like tragedies. I don't like anything where the main character dies. So I'm expecting to read this, laugh my butt off, get some witty dialogue with this enemies to lovers trope, and yeah, everything Margaret needs in life is in this book, hopefully. From there, we get to visit the 3 broomsticks for some mulled wine. For that one, you are supposed to be reading a book that will only take you 1 day to finish. And for that, I am reading Aquaman Rebirth, Volume 1, The Drowning. Obviously, I need to read this before I see the movie, guys. I have no idea what's going on in this. I don't really research what's happening in my comic books. I just know it's Aquaman, and I haven't really paid much attention to Arthur Curry, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna go see that movie, so maybe I should be a little bit versed in what's going on in the actual comics. From the 3 broomsticks, I am going to go exchange presents in the Ravenclaw common room, obviously. And for that one, you are supposed to read a book featuring or about friendship. To fulfill that prompt, I am going to be reading Paper Towns by John Green. I know this one gets a lot of flack from people, like, because it's all about the Manic Pixie Dream Girl, but if you've read the book, you know that it's about deconstructing that myth, and that there's a very rude awakening for the main character towards the end. It's not my favorite John Green book. My favorite John Green book is An Abundance of Catherines, because it made me laugh my butt off, and I loved the banter, and it has a happy ending. I really do love the interplay between Q and his 2 friends. They're just adorable, and I think they're hilarious, and they remind me a little bit of my friends, and of me, and the kind of like the in-jokes that we would have and all of that. I'm reading this because it's going to be in the 5th episode of my series, Read the Book. 4th episode will be coming up shortly when I finally sit down and like make myself watch The Lightning Thief, but don't don't hold your breath for that, but once I finish this, I'm going to be watching this movie as well. From exchanging presents in the common room, I am going to go fly around snowy Hogwarts grounds. I don't do well in cold, my friends. That's why I live in Florida. Also because I have no money to move outside of Florida, but I have no desire to move outside of Florida because it's cold. I don't want to live where it snows. For that one, it is to read a book with a building on the cover. And for that, I'm going to be reading The Battle of the Labyrinth by Rick Riordan. This is probably my second favorite book in the series. I love this book so much, but there is... we're inside a building. And also, I am counting the labyrinth as a massive building because it is a constructed structure. So, and look, there's a building right, you can't really see it, but there's a building right there. And then if we really want to get, hold on, there's a building on the spine of this one. So. I'm covered either way. This is our fourth book for Demigods Anonymous. It's the readathon that I am doing with Min Kobayashi and Kenzie Lee T. I will put links down in the description so that you can check that out if you would like. We just talked about the Titan's Curse at the beginning of the month, and then we will be talking about the Battle of the Labyrinth here towards the end of the month. We're still working on the date for that just because we've got some holiday plans that we're trying to figure out here. And the final prompt in our Magical Readathon is to attend the Christmas feast, which is just basically to watch any of the Harry Potter movies. I don't know how it's going to happen because I don't own any of the Harry Potter movies, but I do have friends who own them. So I might see if I can't hang out with them. I do owe a friend a movie night. We were literally just talking about this earlier. It's not, you don't have to do it. So I'm not too worried about it, but it is there. Here are all the books that I'm going to be trying to read for the Magical Readathon Christmas at Hogwarts edition. Well, technically, I'm only going to read 5 of them, probably. Who knows? I might just devour Gemina like I did Illuminate. I'm really excited to be participating in this. I missed the owl, so I didn't feel like I could participate in the newts, and then I really should have done the extra credit readathon, but it wasn't a good month. It was November, and yeah, it just wasn't a good month for Margaret to be doing any reading whatsoever. Question of the day, are you participating in the Magical Readathon? What are some of the books that you are planning on reading? Are we doing any of the same prompts? Let me know. I would love to hear from you down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. I make videos 2 to 3 times a week all about books and writing, and I would love to see your lovely face here on a regular basis. If you would like, you can also find me on Instagram and Twitter. Those are both at The Word Nerd. That is it for now, my friends. I will see you later when we will talk about more wordy, nerdy things. Bye!